they're going to get caught up in the wrath, the fire, all right? The wailing, the weeping and gnashing of teeth, all right? Shalom, I'm going to hit you back when I'm done this lesson. So let's continue on. Let's go to this Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, all right, chapter 3, verse 18. And it reads, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. You see, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. You see, and there was none more humble than Yahushua. All right, none more humble than Yahushua. And then under Yahushua, all right, the 144, and the top of the 144, all right, King David, right? Peter, same person, right? In the spirit, if you can receive it. But humble, all right? Very, very meek and humble, right? It's because, excuse me, here it is. It's just like the greater that thou art, you understand that, well, it's not of yourself. You're not great off your own power and will and just something that you done, off something you developed. Off the gift, all right, that was given from above to you. And then it's just like, you know, I think that was King David said, Lord, who am I that I should be, you know, given this or that and have this, you know, hold this rank or, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, it's like, you know, he's like, I'm a piece of crap. And, you know, like King David said, my sins are ever before me. And I know like, Lord, wow, thank you. But who, like, wow, you know, it's like, you can't even lift up your head. It's like, you're just humble. It's just like, I'm humbled. Like, thank you. You know, like, I don't understand, but hey, your will be done. And may I just, you know, fulfill your will and do what's right and continue to learn and grow and do my part. And, you know, thank you. You know, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Because, you know, it wasn't you. It ain't us. It's all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see? And that's why we extol Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It ain't gonna look at us, you know, able to, you know, go through these precepts and, you know, give this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and make it plain. And people will be like wooed at you. And it's like, no, don't be wooed at me. Beseech the power of the Lord. That he took somebody that was just a piece of nothing and was doing all manner of wickedness and cleansed them and changed them and now look at them. So now it says, hey, that's why I say is here's one of them, but I'm thinking of another one, but here's one. 1 Peter chapter verse 4, and I'm sorry. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through Yahushua, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. You see? It's the Most High that gives the ability, so he should be glorified. All right? So when we get the ability and is able to have, you know, this, because this ability is a part of power, spiritual power, all right? And then when, you know, certain people see that and they get wooed off that, and then they give you some type of, you know, kudos and credit or whatever, and like, wow, you know, then we just pay that forward to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and say, well, no, I'm just being you. He's doing everything in me, you know. So it ain't me. It's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? So the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. All right? Because we understand that, well, the greater thou art was because it was given to be that. You didn't develop that off your own, skill and power and will. All right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 9. And it reads, furthermore, we have, all right, because going into that being, humble, and it says, humble yourself like a little child, right? And so, the parents are the spiritual parents, right? That we should humble ourselves to, right? And the spiritual parents are those that came before you in the faith, right? Your spiritual parents, which are the prophets, the teachers, all right? The shepherds, all right? Whom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai sent, all right? Whom he raised up, right? So this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much more rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Verse 10, for verily for a few days, for they, all right, our earthly parents, verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure. But he, the Most High God, for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Of his holiness. You see? And the Most High, he's the most separate, because there is none like him who has the power like him. You see? So we want to partake in his holiness and be separate from those that's of this world and of a carnal superior mindset. No, we want to give credence to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and his will and his righteousness, so we can partake in his holiness and being separate, all right, from all those that's of this world and of again, carnal, unrighteous mindset. Nope, we're separate. Taking hold of the spiritual, righteous, superior mindset. You see? Others are of this world with taking hold of a carnal, unrighteous, inferior, right, mindset. You see? And so he's saying, hey, we listened to our earthly parents, gave them reverence and whatever they said, and they wanted us to do according to, like it says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure. You see? But he, the Most High God, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. All right? And being, again, separate. All right? Pure from all the impurities of the mindsets of this world and being corrupted and defiled by a carnal, inferior mindset. No, we're grasping hold of the one true mindset of the Most High God, pure and superior. You see? That we may be partakers of his holiness. And we understand that it's the elect, all right, that's going to do that here on this side. Okay? And so being holy, being separate, all right? Let me get this, Galatians chapter 6. This is the book of Galatians. Chapter 6, verse 16. And it reads, and as many as walk according to this rule, peace be on them and mercy, and upon the Israel of God. All right, the Israel of God. All right, and the Israel of God is the greatest. All right, the Israel of God is the elect, as opposed to Romans 9 and 6. It says, not as though the word of God hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. You see, because right now, the majority of Israel, which it says, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Because here it is, the majority of our people, they're about this world and a mindset of this world. All right. So right now, they're not counted as Israelites. They're counted as heathens right now. All right. They're counted as heathens. And at one point, we were all counted as heathens, even the greatest, because the elect of the nation of Israel were counted as heathens. All right. When we were in those, and I say we with hope of being part of the number of the elect. We all was a part of this world at one point in time in our ignorance, right? But it talks about how some is going to come out of darkness into this marvelous light. You see, and that's the elect, all right? But you're going to have, matter of fact, let me get that. Let me see. Right. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12. It says, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be unto you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly and at an instant. All right. And that's going to be those that's not part of the elect. All right. Those that's the least. Right. They're going to stay there on. All right. On, a mindset of this world. Right. Now, again, all 100% of the Israelites, all right, had, taken hold of a mindset of this world and was counted as heathens or counted as Gentiles, all right? Especially in this dispensation of time, okay? All of us. But the elect, the greatest, didn't stay there on, all right? No, they returned, all right, to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They repented, all right, and returned to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and rehearsed the righteous acts. Prove their faith by the way they think and by the way they live. Humbled themselves like a little child. Right? And were born again. Pour out all of the lies that we've been taught all our lives. All right? We pour that all out. Get rid of that. All right? And be born again and now roll in the spirit. You see? Roll with the righteousness of the Most High God. And if you're born again, then you're like a little child. You don't know nothing. And so now you have to be taught and guided. Who's going to teach and guide you? The men of the Lord that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai sent. All right? Those that came before you. This is how it goes. All right? But again, the least, all right, of the nation of Israel, those that's not a part of the elect, all right, they're going to stay there on. All right, because they despise the word of truth. That's why, again, Isaiah 30 and 12, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, all right, you despise Yahushua, you despise the prophets, all right, that's sent to correct, all right, sent to, it says, rebuke and correct and exhort with all long suffering. Right? Teach and guide and be an example, right? See, but our people, they despise the prophets, okay? But what they really despise is the message of the prophets, okay? And the message is Yahushua. The message is the word of God in truth, rightly divided. That's the message, all right? Which ultimately the word of God, all right, leads to the eternal righteous kingdom. Well, since the word of God leads to the eternal righteous kingdom, well, this one that we're in right now, it must be judged by way of fire. All right. And those that's ruling, the wicked, all right, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. And the wicked, they push all this lies and deceit and all the religions and philosophies and mindsets of this world. This is what they push, right? They want you to be about it. You see? And majority of our people, they despise the word. So of course they despise, like the saying go, don't shoot the messenger, but they shoot the messenger. You see? Because it's really the message that they despise. So they just despise, both the message and the messenger. So it says, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression. You trust in oppression. You trust in perverseness. All right. And this is these heathen nations, namely Esau, Edom, all right, is oppressing us and oppressing the truth. All right. And giving out lies and deceit. All right. And even taking our book and misinterpreting it to us. All right. Which still leads to a ditch. All right. So our people trust in them, though. You see? They trust in the way that they teach the Bible, all right? And the way that they teach the Bible, all right, is wrong, okay? Modern day plantation Christianity, wrong. Catholicism, wrong. The Baptist Church, wrong. Jehovah's Witness, wrong. Seventh-day Adventist, wrong. Calvinist, wrong. Lutheran, wrong, all right? And again, all the the ways that, men break it down that wasn't sent by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to teach it directly and correctly. You see? So again, those that is of the least, they're going to stay thereon, while those that's of the greatest, all right, the elect, all right, they're not going to stay there on these lies and this oppression and this perverseness and the ways and mindsets of this world. No, they're going to forsake that and return to thus saith the Lord in truth, okay, and partake in that holiness. You see? So that Romans 9:6 again, and I'll keep it pushing, not as though the word of God hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Because right now it's about the elect, right? Those that's slated for salvation from the wrath of the Lord, right? Those that's slated for salvation is the elect. But since they're the elect, they're the greatest, well, much is required. Much is required of you. Okay, so let's get that in that Luke. I'm going to get Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12, but I'm going to start at verse 41. Luke 12:41. It says, then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all? Verse 42. And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Verse 43. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. You see? So the Lord, when he come, the elect that's slated for salvation is going to be found doing his will and his righteousness. Going to be found sharing his mindset and walking in his footsteps, bearing their cross. All right. And looking for the Lord. The elect, when he come, the elect is going to be like, oh, hey, welcome. We've been waiting on you. While the least, all right, of the Israelites, those that's not slated for salvation, all right, but those are slated for condemnation, all right, well, they're going to be about this world and the mindset of this world, all right? So when the Lord come, they was about this world. Trying to live their best life. You know what I'm saying? So that day is going to catch them unawares. All right? Because they ain't looking for the Lord. They despise the word. All right? They despise the prophets. All right? They about this present temporal evil world, trying to live their best life, trying to flourish and prosper, chasing the bag. All right? So they're going to be, about this world. They're not going to be looking for Yahushua. All right, so they're going to get caught out there. So when he comes, it's going to be like, what's going on, huh? Oh, yeah, I love the Lord. Yeah. No, it's going to be too late. They're going to get caught out there because when the Lord comes, they're not going to be found doing. You see? Matter of fact, let me get that in that Luke 12:43. Because it says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Let's get that word doing. G4160. Poieo. All right. And it says to produce. All right. We have to be producing the righteousness of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. While the least, they're going to be producing, all right, for a mindset of this world. While the greatest, all right, the elect, they're going to be producing what the Most High say righteousness was. They're going to be producing for the enterprise and mindset of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? To make ready, prepare, to bear, shoot forth. Remember in that St. John 15, it says, without me, you can't produce, you can do nothing. All right, we got to be connected to the vine, Yahushua, right? To act rightly, do well, to carry out, to execute, all right? Execute the righteousness and will of the Father. For those that slated for salvation and what they should be doing, we have to execute it, right? So that's good enough. So let's keep going. Luke 12, I'll read 43 again and keep going. So it says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. And it's already written. It's a done deal. It's fixed. All right. That the elect of the nation of Israel, the Israel of God, all right, are going to be found so doing. All right. And the rest, the majority of our people, they're going to get caught out there. All right, and get caught up in the wrath of the Lord. There shall be weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth. Verse 44, it says, of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all he hath. You see? And if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware. You see, those are going to be the least, all right, of the Israelites who going to get caught out there. They're not going to be aware. Okay. It says, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. You see, and that's the least, right? And so they're going to get appointed a portion with the unbelievers, and they're going to get the wrath of the Lord. All right. They're not going to be covered by the blood of Yahushua. You see, because they didn't believe. Even if they said they believed, they didn't prove that they believed. You see? Verse 47, it says, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. All right. So no matter what, all right, you're going to be beaten, because at the end of the day, all right, you all knew in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It's just that you had certain ones that, man, they directly knew and just sold out or whatever the case may be. And, you know, they're going to be beaten worse. And those are the ones, that's why it says, hey, be not many masters, because you're going to be held with the higher condemnation. You see, those who know that they Israelites, but on some bull crap. All right. But even those where it says, but he that knew not. All right. Well, if you knew not, you didn't want to know. And again, you some way you didn't roll past an Israelite camp, or, you know, the men of the Lord, some way, shape, form, or fashion, and you just didn't give it no, you know, no credence, no heed, none of that. But it says you still gonna be beaten. All right, still gonna be beaten, still gonna get caught out there. You see, so it says, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. You see, for unto whomsoever much is given, that's the greatest, is to whom much is given. All right, the elect, to whom much is given. So of the greatest, of the elect, shall be much required. All right, much required. And that's why, hey, we got to make our body a living sacrifice. All right, that's why we got to be at the bottom, the lowest of the lowest. That's why he said, hey, he told that one guy, hey, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor and come follow me. Make your body a living sacrifice. Anything that was giving you some praise, honor, and glory, all right, go and get that up and come and follow me and bear your cross and go through your passion, go through your suffering. All right, stand up for righteousness in a world of wickedness. Suffer for not only our faults and mess ups and sins, but also suffer for doing what's right. Suffer for being about my way and my will. Well, everybody else gonna think you a fool and you a hate group and you a cult, and they gonna demonize you and persecute you for my name's sake. That's required of the greatest. And the greatest are going to maintain their faith and maintain their hope and maintain their integrity and continue to just do what's right according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? Not be about this world. Wait patiently on the Lord. Confess, all right, and profess Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, and the word of God rightly divided. You see, much is required, right, of those that's going to be the greatest, because it's going to be much given. All right, it's going to be much given. So it says, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. And I always bring out, like, in the NFL, the NBA, or whatever. Well, if you want the biggest contract, all right, you want the $250 million contract. Oh, well, you got to produce more than the one who got the, just the $2 million contract or the $250,000 contract. You see? So the one who got the $250,000 contract, well, he's not required to produce as much as the one who got the $250 million contract. You see? So here it is. There's going to be in the kingdom, the greatest to the least. So whoever is the Most High is making the greatest. Well, you got to produce. All right. Much is required. Okay. Let's go to this Ephesians. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 19. Because those who forsake this present temporal evil world, all right, and forsake the money, cars, clothes, the whole, success, fortune, fame. We ain't about that now. All right? We've returned to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, and the one mindset, the one righteous, spiritual, superior mindset of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. His will, his way, his righteousness, the process, all right, of being purified.